So I just thought I'd do a bit of a video, a tour really of our garden. I mean, it's amazing. I absolutely cannot get over the amount of fruit here. It's a well-established garden and house that we've moved into, and all these that you can see in the tree here, they are mangoes. Now they're getting ready and ripe. Now there's more mangoes than we can possibly know what to do with coming out of this tree. I mean, so many on the floor already that have just hit deadfall. So I'm waiting for Rach to return from the UK with some ingredients so that I can get to work on making mango chutney. The other thing that I want to make is lime pickle. So yeah, right next door to that mango we've got, I think, is limes. I can't quite remember whether they're limes or lemons, but I'm going to pick a few today because I'm trying to identify where the lemons are, because I would like to use a few of those in recipes. So I'm just going to cut a few of these boys down. Oh, hello. Dropping my influence. Let's use one hand. Let's just go with that. So I'm going to put my, whatever they are, limes or lemons, and I'm undecided, so I will cut one open when I get inside and have a look. I'm going to collect a few. They're all looking a bit short actually. Not to worry, there are a few more plants in the garden. Just have a look. So there we are. Have a quick scan around from where we are. That is our garden. I'm going to have a little root around over there in a minute, because there's definitely limes and other things, many unnatured things, unnameable. There's the house, moving in, looks very grand. It's very old. We love it to bits, but it's like an old chateau, a French dilapidated chateau, much smaller than a chateau obviously, with quite a few little things that are not quite right with it. So but we love it. At least to say the leaks, there's quite a few leaks, but we're learning to live with leaks, and it is Costa Rica, so everything dries out so quickly. As long as the ones that we're focused on are obviously the ones that affect things like beds and stuff. But you know, hey, welcome to Costa Rica. So we can't complain. There's our house, very lovely. There's the garage that comes with it, and Rachel's stock of plants, which we are going to be growing up to make our own line of herbal medicine. But obviously we want to get those babies going first. So we've got these lovely little planted areas either side of this. I think it's the front entrance, although you'll probably understand my not quite knowing whether that's front or back in the moment when I show you around. So yeah, some beautiful planting here, and as we're coming into the rainy season, everything is beginning to grow quite tremendously. So this is the kind of play area. All needs a bit of a cut at the moment, but our landlord is coming up. I was actually inquiring of him if he could recommend somebody that we could get in until I can afford to get a strimmer and a lawnmower myself, or one or the other. But he said he would come up with his team of guys tomorrow and do it. So, you know, hats off to the guy. I'm not arguing with that. We'll go with that. And there's plenty of this stuff. I do love this stuff. You might have remembered it before. This mimosa, that sleepy weed. Oh, maybe that's not it today. It's getting my species wrong. But there's definitely some knocking about here, because I've seen it and touched it, but not that stuff. One of our trees went over here. There's a nice little scrapyard next to us, which is always pretty empty, to be honest. So we are pretty deserted in this area. It's quite a farmy kind of area from where we were used to living in Oaxaca, down by the coast, where that was just jungle and some paths cut within it. So this is where the grass is getting a bit lairier, and we need to get this grass cut here if we're going to be moving around on it, because when it gets to a certain length, this sort of length, then it's the snakes and things that we're more concerned about, and things that go through it. When you've got shorter grass, they tend not to come through the grass so much. So we do want to get this grass cut short for our own benefit and to keep the not so welcome creepy crawlies away. So this is loosely calling the back of the house. We call it loosely because to me that looks like a nice grand entrance, but you know, so does the other side. But I think this is like the back of the house. We've got a few of our own things planted there. Tizzy having a little root around. We've got our own chillies in pots, and peppers that are coming on just beautifully. They are. So ooh, I've got a couple of red and green chillies. I mean, I'm cooking chillies in almost everything. These peppers are beginning to go. This is the second lot we've had off this plant. So yeah, I'm very pleased with that. Marley's carrots, I think they need thinning out a little bit, but they're doing all right. Got to remember to water them. We've got a little bit going on over here. If I remember rightly, we've got some mint and some sage. And Rachel's delight, thanks Sid, digging up things in the garden. He's obviously self-medicating on a bit of soil or unnamables, but we've got some roses too, which really pleased Rach when we moved here, I have to say. I was just surprised. The giant passion flower thing that seems to have taken over this tree. The passion flowers are beautiful, so we're hoping that the fruit is going to be equally so when it comes out. But there's a tree under there, mostly, but this passion flower rules this part of the house, this part of the garden, sorry. You see it crawling all over the garden, everywhere, all through the hedgerow, all the way through there. So as I say, we're almost full circle here now. So tree here, looking at it, do I identify these trees? No, not so well. I'm like, does it have fruit on it? If it does, we'll pick it and then we'll try it and see what it is. Here, however, we do have a little plant with some fruit on it, so I'm going to add some of this to my collection. Let's get those little boys cut off. They can pop down. Which other one? Let's have one of these. I'm not going to go. They're looking a bit small, but we'll get a couple and see how they go. Give it all a good wash before we go in. Now, there are some more here too. Got to kind of remember which ones are which when I go in and sample these, because I am actually trying to identify lemons. I know I picked them from somewhere because I was out here picking and grabbing things as I went to begin with and not really remembering where they came from. And one of them was a lemon, but like I said, couldn't remember which tree it was. These are all looking a bit small yet. Like I say, it's the beginning of the rainy season, so everything's starting to fatten and swell up, although those avocados to me look like they're doing like the coconuts. You know, they're just kind of where they need to be. Those yellow ones are halfway through maturity. Obviously the brown ones are mature, the green ones are at the beginning. Apparently green are great for the milk to drink. The yellow have got a strange mixture of milk and soft flesh, and then the brown ones are mostly hard flesh with not a lot of milk or water left inside. So yeah, more coconuts that we know what to do with, to be honest. So picking them up, moving them off. Once they hit the deck, it doesn't take long for little critters to move in. Ooh, this is looking promising. What have we got here? So let's add this guy to my collection. So we're going to pop him straight in. Yeah, straight in the pot. Okay, so that looks suspiciously like a lemon. See if we got any more of those. Lemony, if ever I saw one. Another big one down there. He's kind of on the deck. We'll get these lower ones that are about to swell up so big that they're about to hit the deck because they're so low down on the branches. Yeah, so a couple there that are definitely not ready. Rain's starting again, but it's never warm. It's never cold, sorry. Only when the evenings, I think when you get wet it gets cold. So these, you can see in there, I don't know if you can, these are likely to be limes or lemons. There's a lot of them about whichever way, so I'm going to choose one of these guys and see if we can get them straight in the pot. No chance. Right, so we'll pop that guy up. You can come with me. I do love these passion flowers. They're just so beautiful and they're popping up everywhere. And there's so many more buds just waiting to burst open on them, constantly spinning. I'm waiting to see if we get any fruit. That's the bit I want. I mean, all the hummingbirds and the ants particularly love the passion flower. And it's quite useful to us in certain things. I like it in teas and things, but the fruit, fruit, what we got here? Now these are looking limey, but to me, I've learned since being in Costa Rica, you never can tell. I've picked something that looks like a lime, cut it open, looks like an orange, taste it, definitely a lemon. There's no way of knowing, till you've literally tasted it. Let's get this one in if we can. What do you reckon? Yay! Hit! Okay, it's all one-handed picking when you're holding a phone, you see. I have no idea what this plant is. I think it might have, these have definitely all gone over. Oh yeah, look. Avocados. Oh my goodness. They're all a bit down. I'm just going to feel how they're doing. They're very hard. So I wonder if we will get a prop. Get that up, get that propped up, and then get those avocados off the ground. We got any higher up? Yeah, there's a few. They're obviously coming into maturity. Again, like a lot of other things. Our friends have got avocados in their garden and that's keeping us supplying. These things, they're like the size of coconuts, they're avocados. the Hannistons, and they are huge. So one of them lasts me like a week. And again, when it's like anywhere in the world, when you get something coming into season, when it's ready, all of a sudden there's loads of it. So we are now, you know, what do we do with all this stuff? How can we prep it? How can we preserve it? How can we keep it going? So we're looking into ways of doing that. I'm going with the chutney. So many limes I don't know what to do with, so I'm going to make some lime pickle and mango chutney. That's where I'm headed, and I'm really looking forward to doing that and seeing where we go. So catch on me. That was a little tour around the garden in the rain, just a little one. I'm going to go inside and investigate what it is I've actually picked. I'll see you in a sec. Sidetracked by a bit of laundry. Giant big twin loader, so I'm going to do the old fashioned, take it out of there, chuck it in there, spin it and dry it. Even in the rain, it kind of dries here pretty quick. We have a drying room, so something I have never, I mean, this laundry space, utility space, whatever you want to call it, is bigger than any kitchen I've ever owned before moving here. So, you know, we feel like, wow, we're in this space and we're not quite sure what to do with it sometimes. But hey, yeah, laundry space as well, never owned that before. Very grateful for all of this, I have to say. And, you know, between me and you, and I don't want to, I'm not going to say, you know, we're not, it looks like a mansion, and a lot of people must be thinking, gosh, I bet that costs a lot of money to live in, but no, you would be surprised at how little we are paying to live here. But it's all relative, isn't it? Yeah, it's all relative. It's a great noise. Almost got a rhythm. That's the spinner, by the way, the spinner on the washer. Get a good rhythm on that. And I've not overloaded it, that's just the noise it makes. Can you hear that bloody spinner in your mouth? Okay, so let's have a look and see what we got. First day. So yeah, one of the other things I did pick up was this. I thought I'd grab one of the mangoes off the tree and I'd give it a little cut and open and see, guys. I think quite often they have a lot of black inside them, and obviously you've got to cut that out and move around it, particularly in the wild. They're not like farm grown and all of that stuff that goes with it. So this is the one I am gambling on being a lemon. Sure smells like a lemon, sure looks like a lemon, but looks here can be very deceiving. So let's give it a go. Fingers crossed. I'm 90% sure. That looks like a lemon to me. Oh, perfect. Smells like a lemon. One lemon. Very happy with that. I'm going to squeeze that in a minute and have that in a glass of water. Trying to find one of them a day will keep me going. Now on the back of that, I reckon that's going to be a lime, and I think, a couple more lemons maybe. I'll take them and I'll put those potential lemons there. I'm going to cut this lime, but I think it's a little bit immature. Just purely because it feels quite solid and hard, doesn't feel like it's juiced up particularly. But, you know, a lot of the fruit here is very fibrous, yeah, definitely not. Definitely not really. There's not going to be a lot of squeezing going on there. I mean, I did squeeze one of these earlier and I didn't get an awful lot out of it in my glass of water. So this one, definitely even less. Far from ready, so sorry. Plucked you way too early. Let's come back to this potential lemon. Oh, I don't think I want to cut him. I think I'm going to save these guys because they're uncut. They look a bit green in that light, but actually they're quite yellow compared to what is obviously a lime, I guess. Well, certainly this little guy, I mean, these really deep green ones, I'd put money on being limes, but these yellowier ones, oh, they're quite rare. Limes here, get them a lot, they're everywhere. Lemons, quite difficult to find. So anyway, let's have a quick look at this mango. We've got it there. So obviously going to have a stone in there, let's try and cut it so we can minimise contact with that stone as he hits the stone pretty much straight away. Okay, let's go for a different tack. Let's see what I can get over it this way. Let's have a little look. Okay, yeah, so we've got some of that black going on in there. That's to be avoided, but there's plenty of flesh to go through. I mean, that's straight from the garden, literally out of the garden mango. I'm gonna try it. Oh my god, that's good. That is really good. I mean, I've had juicier, and they've not been there, but no, that is really good. These are going to make fantastic mangoes for making a chutney with. And you know what, we'll be having a lot of smoothies along the way too, I think. So I'm just going to cut it. I'm kind of investigating really. I will eat all this flesh. Just have a munch on it in a minute once I've cut it. These stones are quite large in these little ones. So, you know, there we go, there's some of that black that I've been warned about. Just that, you know, I think it's like anything, if you have a bit of rot or mould in any kind of fruit that you work with, you just cut it out and that's it. That's what I've been told to do. So I'll definitely be doing that. Okay, there's my leftovers, let's get these big black bits out. This is a rubbish knife for doing this with, but we haven't got our gear yet. Now I think I've got quite a lot of waste on here, but I'm going to look into it, and I think when I'm doing my chutney, when I'm doing a mango chutney, or even a mango cordial, or a mango jam or preserve, then I think I will be a lot less cautious in what I'm cutting out. I'm just liking enjoying it. Oh my god, that is so good. That is so good. Excuse me. I'll just stop myself. I want to go and get some more. So this is our crazy juicer. This is also a juicer. Very slow turning things. Work quite good to essentially having to do it by hand really, but when we start getting oranges, and they sell oranges a lot here, but they're not great to eat, but they're fantastic to juice. So these are ideal for that. I get a lot of juice out of those. I'm going to juice me lemon, sorry, that's what I'm about. Half of one of these bad boys looks like it will do it. It's quite large. I'll save the other one for tomorrow. Plenty of juice coming off of it. That's good to me. I am just going to show you what's left in there. Not a lot. Bit of lemon juice, so that's half a lemon juice squeezed into there. Oh yeah, very lemony. So I'm going to go and add some water to that, and then that's my my daily medicine today. Okay, cheers. Get very used to lemon water. Oh yeah. There's definitely something quite magical about eating and drinking things that you kind of picked over there. Anyway, yeah. I'm so grateful for this garden of mature, fully prepared fruit for us to indulge in. For our visit, our occupation of this place, our tenureship, however long that happens to be. Thank you. That was good. Anyway, that was our garden and some of the fruit.